Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday night, and that time means it's time for another episode of Psalm Spotlight presented by Sun Parlor Trailers. My name is Craig Smolders. I will be your host for this evening. We got Angela back there in the control room, and tonight we'll be talking to the driver of the number 49 late model at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway, Brett Hope. Before we get to that, folks, first of all, I just want to take this opportunity to thank all the fans, all the drivers, all the crew members, all the safety crew, all of the volunteers, and all of the people that came out to the Hangover Enduro race yesterday. It was an absolutely beautiful day. The sun was shining. There was no wind. It was a great day to take in a race. I talked to some fans later after the race, and they said that it was an absolutely beautiful day. It wasn't too cold in the stand. So thank you, everybody, to coming out for that. Don't forget that we have our watch party coming up. That's going to be Friday at 7 o'clock, Friday, February 4th at 7 o'clock. I've shared the YouTube link. I've shared it into the fan zone on the track's Facebook page. So make sure you're looking out for that and come and join us on Friday at 7 o'clock. Now let's get to this interview. Let's get Brett in here. Brett, come on in here, buddy.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey Brett, how's it going?
Good.
Not too bad, thanks. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Been a busy day, but all good. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for joining us. We appreciate you taking some time out of your night to join us.
For sure, anytime.
Excellent. So I guess the first thing I'd like to know is growing up, were you a little bit of a stick and balls guy, or were you big into the racing? How was your childhood growing up?
Yeah, growing up it was always hockey. That's the sport I loved and continued to play my whole life. And then we had a 100-acre farm, so we'd work on there. We had dirt bikes, go-karts, that kind of stuff. So didn't really get into racing until my dad got an enduro car one year, and we started grinding on it and putting that thing together. I think he hit the track with about $700 into the car, and he went enduro racing at Delaware. So that's kind of how we all got started into racing, and it just grew from there to what we are today.
Okay. Just very quickly, how far did you go in your hockey career?
I played some semi-pro hockey down in Fayetteville and Brewster, New York, after college there before calling it quits.
Okay, and right now you're the coach for the Blades, right? The Blenheim Blades.
Yep. We're starting
Awesome.
back up this week, so I'll be get a little bit more busy here, but it'll be good to finish out the season.
Okay, have you guys played much this year?
Yeah, we have 9 games left, so we've been off for about a month. Tomorrow we got practice, and then we'll have our first game Sunday night back in Blenheim.
Excellent. Well, if you ever get a chance to go out there and check out a Blenheim Blades game, they play on Sunday nights at Blenheim Memorial Arena. Definitely get out there and check out a game. They're a good bunch over there. I spent about 10 years myself with the Blades organization, so I know Frainer and Saunders and all those guys. So yeah, definitely get out there on a Sunday night. So I guess I'd like to know, Brett, is how did you actually get started in racing? What was your first year out at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway?
So our first year out there, my brother Kyle actually had a mini stock at the time, so that was our first year getting into it. And then at the end of the year, Steve Bastian was selling his mini stock. So I talked to Dad. I did a lot of the work on my brother's car, so he ended up coming to a deal with that. So I raced one race at the end of 2008, and then I think it was 2009 was my first full season there in the top car with the black and orange car there. Just kind of getting my feet wet, getting used to racing, learning lines, and yeah, wrecking stuff basically.
Excellent. And so and how did your first year actually go? Like, did you have any chances at win? Did you like anything like that, or?
Yeah, we were back then. They had the pursuit race, so our goal was always finish in the top 10. So the next week we got the third race. For those of you that don't remember the pursuit race, it was the top 10 from the feature the week before. They'd line us up in reverse order, and if you were passed, you were done. So that was kind of our goal: finish the top 10 to get into that race so we could get some more track time. There's a few nights where we'd be in the top 5, and the next week you're 7th, 8th, 9th, but never really contending for wins. At that time, it was Sean Jones was cleaning up the house there with Dennis Deserano as well.
Okay, so that was pretty good. And then in 2011, you jump up to a mini mod, or they kind of, I guess they kind of mutate into a mini mod, or whatever way you want to look at it. How did your first year in a mini mod go for you?
Yeah, so that silver car there was my second year in a mini stock, and then that winter we ended up building the mini mod. That was something completely different, right? We've never had any experience with 3-link cars, anything like that. So that was a whole whirlwind. We didn't really adjust too much because we didn't know what we were doing. So it was a learning experience that year. Won a few heat races, had a few shots at a couple wins. Maybe it just came up a little bit short or just off a little bit, but it was a good year. And then I think we didn't start winning until oh, I don't even know, 16 or 17, something like that.
Okay. And do you remember your very first win that you ever got? It was in a mini mod, wasn't it? You want to
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So that year, Mike LeGuy came on board, and he kind of changed our racing program. We aren't mechanics; we don't know engine stuff or anything. So he came on board, and he kind of changed it all. So we were actually the first night out that year. I was leading the feature and actually ran out of gas with about 4 or 5 laps to go. So that was kind of heartbreaking. But yeah, so the first race, I remember following Rob Quick for like 18 laps. It was a 20-lap feature. I followed him for like 18 laps, and I seen the white flag come out, and it was basically an all or nothing move coming out of three or into three and out of four. So I ended up diving to the bottom on him, and it was a drag race to the finish, and I got him by like maybe a car length. So that was pretty cool. And then you see the picture there on the left. One of our sponsors and one of my good buddies, Elliot Wilton, stopped on the front stretch, and before I could get out of the car, he was there to congratulate me. And then on the bottom picture there, I was able to be there crewing for Elliot, his first ever feature win. So it was nice to be able. He was there for mine. I was able to be there for his as well.
Awesome. Awesome. So how many years did you actually race the mini mod? Do you remember?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And then after a mini mod, you jump into a Thunderstock.
So I took a few years off after that. We sold everything, and I took a few years off. I was focused on hockey at the time. I was over in the States playing college hockey, and the pro team started calling and stuff. So I thought I should take a few years off and kind of just focus on it. So it was more hockey then again in my life. So I took a few years off, and then I wanted to get back into it once I moved home. So I ended up buying the Thunderstock, completely redid the Thunderstock, and went out and raced maybe 10 times that year. It was nothing, not a full season or anything. Ended up selling that and trading some things, and ended up getting into the modified the next year, and then ended up working a deal for the modified for the late model I have now. So it was in 3 years, it was a quick little progress up the ranks there, and yeah, happy with the late model now. It's a great little piece I got, probably the best equipment I've ever had to race with, and still learning.
Awesome. And did you have any success in the Thunderstock? Or you were just kind of out there breaking things again?
Couple heat wins. Kind of had big plans, but things didn't really go our way that year.
Okay.
I kept having drive shaft issues and whatnot, so we just raced out there at South Buxton at the time, and had some fun with it. Drank a lot of beers, and just kind of had some fun with it.
It's all about the partying, right?
Gotta have a good time. If you're not having a good time, there's no point in doing it.
So then 2019 rolls around, and you decide you want to take another step up. I guess if that's the way you want to call it, you jump into a modified. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that was a big jump. That's something I was not expecting at all. I mean, Kyle, my brother, had one, so we kind of had a little bit of experience with 4 bars and whatnot. But yeah, the first time in it, it was a whirlwind. You know, I just started at the back. I didn't want to wreck anybody, so I started last. And sure enough, the green flag flies, and everyone's on it, and you're sideways, and you feel the wind rush, and it is unbelievable. It was a great feeling, and kind of got me back addicted to it, that I want to do this even longer and even more. So the modify was fun. Probably the coolest night was that American Ethanol night. They came over. I think only one car showed up, but still, I started 19th that night and ended up finishing 4th behind Drew Smith and those guys. So I came to the field, and that was a really cool night.
Awesome. And that first year when you were in the modified, did you do any traveling at all, or did you stick around home pretty well?
I went to Oswego once. That was about it.
Okay. How'd you make out there?
Not too well.
We won't talk about that.
We're buddies with the Graham racing team now, and Brant was there in his modified, and he ended up laughing at me, and he never lets me live it down. So he always gets on me about it. Remember that time in Oswego? And it's like, yes, I know.
So then you go from modified to late model. What year did you jump into a late model?
Well, I had the late model the COVID season. We never ended up racing. They had a few races across Ontario, but we never ended up racing. So last year was my first year in it.
Okay, awesome. And you what during COVID? Did you do any racing at all? Like were you into iRacing or anything like that, or you were just kind of hanging out?
I was stagnant, sitting here looking at the car in the shop. So I just got on iRacing there a couple months ago. So keep me busy here in the winter as well.
How you make it out on there?
It's a learning experience, that's for sure. It's the feel and everything's a little bit different, but I think I'm starting to pick it up. There's some good nights up there. There's some nights I come down pretty frustrated. So just like the
Okay. when we were talking about the modified a little bit, you mentioned your brother a little bit. I just want to talk about a little bit about racing with family. How does that go with you guys? Like, are you competitive on the track? Are you guys getting into each other? Or, in the shop, what works, what doesn't work? Is there any scrapping and arguing going on, or you guys get along pretty good?
Uh, we got along most of the time. Obviously, we're brothers, so we don't get along all the time. But Dad's when we first started racing, Dad had a rule: if either of us hit each other, he'd park the car. So we were very tentative around each other, especially. But there was one night, our second year in the mini stock, my second year in the mini stock, when the mini mods first came out. I was up near the front, and I got up on a guy's tires because the tires stuck out the right side at the time. And I spun around on the backstretch, and I was sitting there sideways. And sure, I just looked to my left, and all these cars are just splitting, going around me. And at the last second, my brother didn't see me and just T-boned me. So both cars went flying. My parents were there at the time, so they took off to the trailer to get us parts or just help us out whenever we needed. So we're sitting there at the trailer, and they're towing us off. And actually, both my car falls off the tow truck, right? The bumper breaks off, falls off the tow truck. And my brother's laughing at me, and not even 30 seconds later, his falls off the tow truck too. So the crowd goes nuts, and the first thing my parents thought in their heads, "Oh my God, they're fighting on the track right now." So that's so we had our moments, but yeah, most of the time we got along. This last year, he had his car here for a little bit, and then took it to my other brother's house. And but yeah, no, we've never really got into it on the track or anything.
Awesome. Well, Brett, we're just going to take a quick commercial break here. We'll be right back with Brett Hope, driver of the number 49 late model, talking on SOMSpotlight, presented by Sun Trailers.
Looking for a new standard in IT solutions? Look no further. Let the expertise of Heeb's 3 IT Solutions Inc. take your business to higher grounds. Services we provide, but are not limited to, are IT solutions and project management, website design, PC support, installation and implementation, cyber and endpoint security, residential and commercial networking, identity and branding design. With our years of experience and dedication we have to our customers, Heeb's 3 can be your one-stop shop for IT solutions. Visit us today at www.heebs3it.com.
Welcome back to SOMSpotlight, presented by Sun Trailers. We're talking to late model driver Brett Hope. So, Brett, let's talk about 2021 here. We got a video that we're going to pull up here and have Angela play for us. But let's talk about 2020. Now, I don't know where this race is from. Do you know where this is from, or what?
Yep, this is Soms.
Okay, yeah, but what race? Do you know the date or anything?
Oh, I don't.
Okay, all right.
No, I don't remember. It might be
but it looks like it's a.
It might have been that.
Looks like
Father's Day, the first. That's Father's Day we raced. I believe it's that race.
Okay, so you're racing pretty close there. When you're racing that close, like especially back in the pack like that, are you a little bit nervous? You drive a little bit more careful, or you just kind of run your race and not worrying about what everybody else is doing? How's that work out for you when you're on the track?
I don't think there's much time to think really. I just kind of drive and watch whatever's ahead of me, and whatever happens, I try to avoid. But yeah, it's not that close in this video right now. Been a lot closer. There's been a lot more stuff, but yeah, this is my first ever race in a late model right here. So
okay. Were you nervous at all when you went out on the track? Are you nervous now, or?
No, I get more anxious. I'm not really nervous. I get anxious. I just want to get out there and go. Sitting in the chute, I kind of just think about, did we check everything? Is everything good? Kind of what might go wrong, what doesn't go wrong, whatever. But I'm not nervous racing. I trust my abilities and everything. But yeah, it's more of an anxious feeling. You'll see me pace around a little bit before I get in the car and double check a few things. But yeah, it's quite the rush, especially on the new Soms track. It's very, very fast. So it's the fastest I've ever gone in a race car. So it was a good year. It's cool. We hit 5 or 6 different tracks this year, so I've never done anything like that. Learned a lot, met a lot of great people on the way, and had a ton of help from people like the Grahams and Sopez and those guys on the road as well.
Do you think you learned a lot over the 2021 season that you can take into 2022? You think you're ready, or you got a long way to go yet?
I definitely learned a lot. Is my knowledge where some of these guys' knowledge is? Oh, no way. I got a long ways to go with them, but I don't think we're too far off. I don't know the stuff they do, but I do have a knowledge of the car. That's kind of why I kept the same car again, because I started getting comfortable with it and knowing what the car liked and what I liked, and kind of started gelling near the end of the year. So we're gonna keep the car, run the same car again, and go give her hell.
Awesome. So now looking ahead to 2022, this season at Soms or anywhere else, what's the plans for Bright Hope and Hope Racing and Motorsports, and what's the plans for going forward?
Race as much as I can. So that's the kind of the plan: get as much seat time, learn as much as I can. That's where I think I've lacked over the years. I've raced all these years, but I've only ran one full season at SOMS, so it's been need the seat time, different tracks, learn things, talk to different people. So we're gonna start the season mid-April there out at Battle of the Bay with the Rush Great Late Model Series. That's the plan. See what the border says and everything, but that's our plan to start there, and then keep it going right through till October. So race as much as I can. With the Rush Series, there's the Northeast Late Model Lines I'm going to try to run with. Humberstone's got a bunch of races on Sunday nights, and then obviously SOMS that's 15 minutes from my home, so can't beat to go there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely hope you come back and see us for sure. So what would you say is your favorite racing memory so far?
Oh, there's been a lot of good
Stuff.
a couple cool ones. Obviously this year we went up to Cornwall. The night before I kind of got my butt kicked up at Brighton. Never been there before, and that track changed, and those guys really kicked my butt. So kind of a slap in the face, I guess you could say. But then the next night we went up to Cornwall, and I was able to finish second in my heat race, getting the redraw. So just that boost of confidence right after being in a redraw was kind of cool. I never had that before. Another one was probably the mini stock my first year. Everybody out there knew Norm Deserano. So I pulled up in my first few races, and he gets out of his car. I go up right behind him, and he gets out of his car. And he comes back to me, and I'm buckled in, and I'm all right, belts are tight, and the race before us hasn't even started. Like I'm 17, 18 years old, and he comes back and he goes, "Just follow me tonight." So I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Just follow me, learn the line, just do what I do." So I ended up following him, and I think I finished like 5th behind him or something like that. So I got out and I thanked him. And then it was 2 weeks later or something. It was just me and my grandpa that went, and I forget my parents were. So just us two went, and we got into the pursuit race. So I'm starting behind him. So I don't know what happened behind us, but it's just me and him left on the track. So I actually was passing him going down the back straightaway to win the pursuit race, and a water bottle was on the track, and they threw a caution. So I didn't end up beating him. We had 2 laps. I had to restart behind him, and it was just us two. So he finished first, I was second. And then he came down after. He's like, "That's a win in my books for you. You had me passed," and whatnot. So it's cool to see that with him. An older guy like that kind of helping me through the ranks when I was a young kid, just started out trying to teach me what to do. So
For sure. And what would you say is a bucket list race for you, or bucket list track? What's something that you'd like to do, or a race you'd like to be in, or a track you want to go to? Sometime in the future, anyway.
Big dreams, but winning at Eldora would be cool. Obviously, that's a tough place. Everyone loves it. It's a thing. Even just to go there and run there, I think it'd be really, really cool. Obviously, won't go there with my crate car. I'd have to spend some bucks and get a big motor. But Oswegan's awesome. That one time I was there, and just how big and racy it was. It was cool, and they put on some good shows there. But for me, a bucket list, if I could win any feature in a late model right now, that would be amazing. I mean, there's so many good guys out there. The guys up east, the guys here, everyone's kind of got their stuff together, their homework together. They're very, very good at what they do, and to be able to beat them would be unbelievable and awesome. So now, the list kind of goal is just win a feature. Time will tell, though, if that ever happens.
Do you have some sponsors you'd like to thank?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it without them. So obviously, all their equipment, that's my work. They came on board last year and supported me. Huge. Elliot Wilton, the Wilton's realtor, he's been with us for 4 or 5 years now, and he raced before, and he supports us every year. He comes and helps. All things nutrition. My girlfriend's nutrition business. She's amazing. I wouldn't be able to do it without her. She supports me. We went up to Applefest last year, just us two. So she was my crew chief, pit crew, everything. Wouldn't be able to do it without her support. And then RM Racing Lubricants and Maxima. Maxima came on board last year. RM Racing Lubricants is a Canadian dealer, so if you need any oil, get a hold of Richard there. He's a great guy. We've had tons of great conversations. Been around the racing world for a long time. He's got a ton of stuff and can help you out for sure. So that stuff has really helped us. Obviously, oil's not a big thing, but it does help horsepower and keeps your car going and everything like that. So having them on board was also huge.
Awesome. And definitely fans, get out there and support the people that support our drivers. Give them all the support they can. So now, sorry, I just lost my spot here. Swag, sorry. Swag. If I wanted to get myself one of those Hope Motorsports hoodies, how would I do that? Or what do you have available?
Yeah, send me a message on Facebook, Instagram, anything. I ordered a bunch of stuff last year: sweaters, hats, T-shirts, and sold out. Actually, I don't even have my own hat. That's why I'm not wearing it. Sold all the hats. I didn't even keep one for myself. So it's get a hold of me next year. We're gonna change it up a little bit. Again, last year we went pretty simple, but this year we're gonna change it up, get something maybe a little bit more drastic. We'll see what's coming. I got a few things in the works with a few different people. So see what happens there. But yeah, if you want something, shoot me a message on Facebook, Instagram, anything like that. Text me. I'll be able to get something, add you to the list.
Awesome. And how do people find you on social media? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? What do you got going on out there?
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't tweet a lot, but I am on there. Facebook, Hope Motorsports. Instagram, Hope Motorsports again, and then obviously YouTube, Hope Motorsports. Kind of documented our year last year on YouTube, and had some good followings actually. Actually, the race at Cornwall, I had some little kid walk up to me and goes, "Are you Brett Hope?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh my God, I love your YouTube channel. I watch it every night before bed." So that was kind of cool to hear from that little kid. 10 hours from home, and he's still watching my stuff. So that was pretty cool. So we'll get it up and going again this year. Took a little break. I was busy with hockey and everything else. Not much going on racing wise. So obviously the car's stripped right now. So we'll get some videos back up there, and then document our travels this year. Hopefully into the States and all those other tracks, and just make a whirlwind this year of it. It's something I've always wanted to do. So got the tools, got the girlfriend and the crew to support me. So we're gonna go at it and see what we can do this year and race as much as possible.
Awesome. Well, I don't have any more questions for you. Do you have anybody else you want to thank, or anybody else you want to talk about real quick?
Just everybody that supported me over the years. Even when we started out, I mean, Bugsy used to build our motors and swap stuff back and forth with him. He was a huge help when we started out. Mike Legui came in and changed our racing program. Everybody that's ever helped us. I mean, Dan Loveday was huge at the start too. Everybody that put a hand on it, helped us out, giving us advice over the years. We appreciate it so much. We wouldn't be able to be here without you. And then obviously everybody on social media that helps. Even the bad nights when you post something and people are liking it, or the best appearing car contest, I had like over 100 people vote or something. That was huge. Didn't win, up against the racing legend of Jimmy Jones around here. So gave everything we got.
That's right.
But still, even having 100 people vote, that was cool to have them support me, and everybody that does it. So I appreciate it a lot. It means a lot to me. So gives me a drive to go back out the next week and try to put on a performance.
Awesome. Well, Brett, we really appreciate you joining us tonight. We wish you all the best of luck in 2022, wherever that finds you. And I hope you come back to Southern Ontario Motor Speedway and say hi to us a couple of times. And hope everything goes well for you. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you. We'll be out there for sure. Not full season, but we'll be out there for sure to support you guys. We appreciate it.
Awesome. We look forward to it. Thank you and have a great night. That was Brett Hope, driver of the number 49 late model at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. That was an excellent interview. Thank you, Brett, for joining us. This has been Som Spotlight presented by Sun Parlor Trailers. Don't forget, folks, you can find us on Facebook at the Southern Ontario Motor Speedway Fan Zone. Get in there and join on the favorite driver best appearing contest thing, whatever you want to call it there. Get in and vote that. Support your favorite driver or the best appearing driver. And don't forget, we have the Enduro Race Watch Party coming up on Friday, February 4th. That's going to start at 7 o'clock. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. I hope everybody has a great night. My name is Craig. This is Som Spotlight presented by Sun Parlor Trailers. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Goodbye.